The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We ready? I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready? I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! It's a wrap. Game over.
No, game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Talk Ya Team Tuesday. Somebody said, wait, what? Talk what? Talk Ya Team Tuesday. I know it's a slang for the word your. If you want it formally, you can do that. Talk Your Team Tuesday, but it's Talk Your Team. You know, when you're talking your team, you ain't trying to conjugate verbs properly. You're not trying to dot I's and cross T's. You're trying to talk your team. And, hey, listen, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. That number will help you get it done. You can also text me, and I've been getting a bunch of texts during and after the show, 832-403-5005. 832-403-5005, or you can email me, aj@kyoksports.com. That's aj@kyoksports.com. Let me go to the phone line, hitting it off already to Talk Your Team. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, Dre, how you feel?
With my hands. How about you?
Everything is beautiful in its own way. Hey, man, is Deshaun Watson, is he going to play football this year?
Well, I'll say this. I don't see the NFL allowing him on the field this season. I really don't. I mean, you know, I know some people feel like if it gets settled, they might suspend him 6 games, 8 games. I don't see them letting him on the field regardless of the outcome, you know, short of him being convicted of criminal charges. I don't see him being on the field at all this season.
Okay, remind me, because I should have looked it up, but was Big Ben allowed to play when he got accused of rape?
Big Ben got, I'm probably going to get it wrong. I think Big Ben got either 4 or 6 games for his situation.
Okay. All right. Is your topic today limited or?
Not at all. It's talk your team, talk a team, talk a sport, talk a player. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Let me know when you guys take a break. Okay. Is Quinn Snyder's job in jeopardy?
No, sir.
Is Doc Rivers' job in jeopardy?
I honestly, no, sir. But you know, there are fans that want his job to be in jeopardy. No, his job ain't in jeopardy.
Okay. Is Ben in my opinion, Ben Simmons is still a great player. Is Ben Simmons still a great player in your opinion?
Ben Simmons is still a NBA level player who needs to work on his mentals. And, he got to work on some parts of his game. And from what I heard from his interview, he understands that and he wants to do that. So, again, fans, media, it don't matter what we think. I think that organization is going to give him a shot. They're probably going to make some changes and bring in some other players. But I think they're going to see if Doc can, do some things to help the young man because that's what he needs.
Ben Simmons is a good kid. He seemed to be a great young man, and some people just need to realize everybody don't have no dog in him. I think he's still a great player, but everybody just not aggressive. That's just not his makeup. He kind of reminds me of Kawhi Leonard, but Kawhi a little bit more aggressive towards his play goes. But Ben, that's just not his makeup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of like people didn't like Tony Romo because he was a laid-back leader. Folks didn't like other players because they didn't lead and, get in people's faces and try to take over like, the people that they feel like should do that. That's not Ben Simmons' makeup. And prior to this series, Ben Simmons had a whole lot of confidence in his game. What hurt him the most was he lost that confidence in his game.
Yeah, he one of them guys who always say they always play good when they play against LeBron. But then when you pulling for them, they seem to choke up. That amazes me. But two more quick things, if I may.
Yep.
Okay, Kevin Durant. I'm on the LeBron James fan club, and we all love LeBron, but I think a lot of unfair statements were made this past weekend about Kevin Durant. Say what you will or may about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a bad man. Kevin Durant is the best scoring machine in this league. I love LeBron, and I think LeBron's still the best overall player. But as if I want somebody to take the last shot for me, it still would be Kevin Durant. But don't people realize that fatigue plays a part in you missing that shot on the end?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That last shot was straight fatigue. Greatest, can you give me 1 minute?
Yes,
I got one commercial.
Yes.
I want to finish that talk with the greatest when we come back on Talk Your Team Tuesday here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Todd Delaney, and right now you're listening to the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show with AJ.
All right, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Appreciate all the Facebookers checking us out on the Lunch Break Facebook page and on the KYOK Facebook page. Also, those checking us out on YouTube on the Lunch Break with AJ, and then on Twitter at Lunch Break KYOK. Go back to the phone line, greatest. Coming back to our conversation about Kevin Durant. Yeah, he was dead tired, man. All those minutes that Kevin logged on his body. Remember, Durant was, not coming off of a full season. Durant, had been in and out of the lineup, even leading up to the playoffs. So Kevin Durant, was tired, bro. And he playing 48, minutes a game and no break, Doc. TV timeouts were his break. I hate to say this, and folks don't want to have this conversation. That ain't a Kevin Durant issue. That's a Steve Nash issue. And, you look at the fine line as a head coach with a coach going with his best players as long as he can. You've got to give them a rest at some point, especially when you didn't give them a rest in Game 6, didn't give them a rest in Game 5. I mean, at some point, you gotta take that risk and get them off the court for a minute.
Well, and you also got to take under consideration, last time I checked, basketball was a team sport.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Durant not the only player on the team. Now, how come sharpshooter Joe Harris didn't step up?
Well, and I got Willy Gibson that has joined on the show as well. And Willie, I want to get you in on this as well. What the Brooklyn, what Milwaukee did was kind of, as I said yesterday, Bill Belichickian, in that they let Durant do his thing. They even let Harden do some of his thing, but they shut down Joe Harris. And Brooklyn could not get over the net, minus Kyrie Irving, without Joe Harris. And they defended and contested every shot that he took, literally for the first time in the series, and it paid off for them when they needed it the most.
Okay, I got a quick a question for you and Brother Willie. Okay, let's say Durant, Harden, and Kyrie were at full strength. They wouldn't have lost that series. Can we agree to that?
I'll let Willie go first because I'm a little different. Go ahead, Willie. Willy Gibson, can you hear us?
I apologize. I lost you for a moment.
Okay, you back?
I can hear.
The question was, yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. The question was, if Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden were all healthy, would Brooklyn have lost that series?
Probably not. Probably not. No.
Okay.
Healthy Brooklyn wins that.
Greatest, what say you?
Well, I mean, I totally agree with Brother Willie because it went 7 games, without them guys being in unison. And I had said all year long that on paper nobody can beat the Brooklyn Nets. So I think injuries really came into play as far as them losing that series. But like I said before, my hats off go to Kevin Durant. I'm not a big Durant fan, but I give props and due. Kevin Durant is a hard man to deal with for scoring. I'm going to leave you and Brother Willie with this because I got to go back to work, but I'm going to listen. Okay, the NCAA players, for years I have said that they make millions of dollars, billions of dollars for these universities. What's wrong with these young men getting paid? And I think that now that they will allow these young men to be compensated, it'll take away the temptation of these young men going out and doing something that they don't have no business doing. Because let's face it, we all used to be young and naive too. And what they say, Brother Willie, an idle mind is a devil workshop. So what do y'all think about the NCAA players being compensated? And thank y'all. And Rumble, young man Rumble.
The greatest, y'all. The greatest. Call of the year 2018. So, Willie, the court ruling that just happened from the Supreme Court was about educational benefits for athletes, student athletes. I hate that term. Can't deny an athlete educational benefits, laptop, whatever they need to be successful educationally because they are an athlete. But it definitely opened up the door for probably how the ruling is going to go on name, image, and likeness if the Supreme Court has to make a final ruling on that as well. What are your thoughts about the shifting in the legal area on compensation for student athletes?
It remains the same. Number one, I'll say that I am by all means in favor of anyone maintaining the rights to their name, image, and likeness. That's without question. That goes without saying.
Yep.
What I will say is I don't know who benefits from this narrative that college athletes aren't compensated, but they are. I'll speak from this position. In the mid-'90s, I lived with a football player at the Ohio State University. So I've seen some things probably that I won't discuss today. But what I will say though is that every full scholarship athlete receives a stipend. Now, I will say that, and so that goes back to the narrative that they aren't compensated, when in fact they are. It's not just room and board. It's not just tuition. It's not just books. I'll give you raw numbers. I know in the mid-'90s that stipend was $800 a month. I know in the mid-2010s, let's say, no, early 2010s, that stipend was $1,500 a month. Students, college students. Today, that stipend is $2,200 per month per student athlete on full scholarship. So to me, now, so that's one. Then two, given the financial situation of that's being reported, and it's true that athletes are, students are in that situation. They're need-based grants, Pell Grant, things of that nature that you're eligible for, that you can apply for and receive.
Yeah.
Then there's also what the NCAA has, what's called a special opportunity fund. It should be the special assistance fund, special opportunity fund that you have access to as well for things that you need, clothing, things of that nature. Now that's just the quote unquote legal opportunities that they have. We haven't talked about the, as I like to call them, the FOPs, the forensic program.
Let's not get into the FOPs because I want legal for a minute.
Sure.
And I hear everything that you're saying. But for those athletes like myself who weren't on full scholarship, a whole different story.
Sure.
But for those athletes like my son, whole different story. For those athletes like my son's friends who may have been getting it, but for whatever reason, it wasn't enough to get them home and food, or it wasn't enough to get them in other places that they needed to be and do. And literally, I had to check with people before I could even invite them to come home with my son for Thanksgiving dinner and for Christmas and stuff like that. Or I definitely couldn't help them get to their home so that they could have what they wanted and needed with, their families. It's. I get that there are other things out there, but bruh, Nick Saban don't have to figure out his Pell Grant and his extra benefit. His check says all it needs to say. Sure. And I think that's where this is kind of getting to that. It doesn't have to be as complicated for the athlete, just like it's not complicated for the coach. It's just like it's not complicated for the president of the NCAA. And when you have justices calling that out, look at how much money the president of the organization is making versus, and he used the exact words, employees, literally saying in any other industry, this would be illegal. That sounds great. And I don't disagree with. I know those things that you said to be fact. The justices are saying, stop it. The justices are saying, figure this out. And again, this is just on educational benefits. They still got to determine name, image, and likeness. And the NCAA is dragging their feet because they're hoping Congress is going to bail them out. They're hoping these state laws are going to, be favorable to the NCAA, and they're not.
No, I agree. I totally, again, name, image, and likeness. Everyone should have access and rights to their name, image, and likeness. I think I more so wanted just to address the narrative that, these kids don't get paid, they don't have anything, and they do. Do they have as much as people most would like to have? Probably not. But again, I look at it from the perspective of, again, I live with a football player. I was a college student. Did I have everything I wanted? No, I didn't. I understand. Yes, they play. I understand. Yes, they did. Yes, I do.
So Willie, and let me throw this in. Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist, covers the Big Ten, the Ohio State Buckeyes, Cleveland Browns, and a lot more than that. We're talking about the Supreme Court ruling. Question that Greatest left with us about that ruling. So on average, just talking football now, 50 hours a week on average, and that's probably on the low end because of the other schools that just can't afford to put in all that kind of time work, what have you. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oklahoma, UT. I'm sure it's more than that.
Sure.
So when you put that compensation, that stipend, $2,000, $2,200 a month to 50, 60 hours a week, and very little to no opportunity to go out and get another job.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still balanced?
No, I never said it was balanced. I just wanted to address the fact that the narrative that they're not paid. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Because you and I both know that narrative has been out there. I don't know who benefits from that narrative.
Yeah.
But it's always the narrative that college athletes get paid, and you never see the quarterback. Like, for example, Netflix. I listen all the time. You talked about Antebellum yesterday on Netflix. Have you seen the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner? All right.
Yeah.
They never show Bo Callahan. They always show Vontae Mack. I'll just leave that there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who's benefiting from that narrative is all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or it's someone benefiting from that narrative.
Yeah. Well, that aside on the narrative, the Supreme Court justices threw a no-hit shutout at the NCAA yesterday, and the majority of those justices were conservatives, and they voted 9-0 that the NCAA could not deny educational benefits to an athlete, to a student, because they are also an athlete. And then again, stating that your industry and any other industry and any other walk of life would be illegal, and use the words employees. I mean, that to me if those aren't red flags and sirens and alarms for how it probably will go when name, image, and likeness comes up, it doesn't look good for the NCAA. I mean, if the NCAA can't control that, what's left for them to control?
Oh no, without question, it's. I won't say the beginning of the end, because the beginning probably was a little bit ago. Yeah. But it's on its way out, without question. Yeah. It's on its way out. I mean,
how long before the Big Ten, the SEC, the Pac-12, the ACC, and the Big 12 decide we make enough money on our own to get our own governing body? Like, we played this game long enough, we're going to come up with, just like we came up with the college football playoff, we're going to come up with the governing board of bodies for the Power Fives, and they will legislate and dictate and do our bidding versus us having to play these games with the NCAA. It can happen.
How long? Not long. Not long at all. Not long at all.
Yeah.
So it's coming.
Eligibility and penalties is about all the NCAA can do now.
Yeah. No more legislating of cream cheese on a bagel any longer.
Wow.
Which actually was a rule in the NCAA handbook. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, very. Yeah.
I knew they were in trouble when they brought Mark Emmett back. When in the middle of the night they decided, they did it during the day, and they released the information in the middle of the night, in the middle of other rulings that they extended his contract. It's like, oh, y'all don't even want to survive. Y'all just want to get taken over or done away with.
He's the shot taker, and when I say shot taker, he takes all the hits. Better term. He takes it. We talked about this before. Big Ten commissioner, Pac-12 commissioner, they take the shots and the hits that the presidents don't want to. Mark Emmert, as head of the NCAA, they renewed his contract because he takes the shots and the hits that the board of directors don't want to take. So they don't have to take him as long as they put him forward. He's the public face. He takes the shots. Meanwhile, we can do what we need to do back here. He's taking all the criticism. He's taking all the negative flack. They're not. So, of course, they're going to renew his contract.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective because I never saw it that way. I thought maybe they wanted a leader. I thought they had somebody in there with fresh ideas, ways to bring the NCAA as an entire organization to the 21st and second century. And it doesn't appear that's what they're trying to do.
They're not. Because NCAA board. We know Mark Emmert. Do we know anyone that's on the NCAA board of directors?
You bring up a good point. Yep.
Nope.
Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist, the Ohio State is in his area of coverage. Also the Big Ten and the Cleveland Browns. So good to have you on the show today, man. Lots been going on in the world of sports. Kind of want to figure out how we're going to chop it all up. I do have to throw in that the Astros have won 8 in a row, and they are tied for the best record in the American League. I had to slide that in because I know you're going to tell me about Cleveland and how don't sleep on Cleveland and that,
Listen,
go ahead.
Astros Twitter came from my neck last week. Okay? They came for my neck. In a big way.
I don't want all that smoke.
No, y'all can have that. I said one thing, and they came for your man's neck.
Wait a minute, remind me what you said, Willie.
Well, here's what happened.
Let me turn your mic up. Hold on, say it again.
Yeah. I got LeBron shoulders. I can say it, but it was Tuesday night when Altuve hit the walk off. And I said, don't pull his jersey off. And they came for your man's neck for 2 days.
Brother.
2 days.
I saw the tweet. I chuckled. I think I liked it. I had no idea. I hadn't been back to see that they had come for you because I would have stood back to back with you, bro. And we would have fought off as many as we could until we couldn't fight no more.
Man, they came for you, man. Go back and look at my mentions and under that tweet. They came for you, man. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised they haven't come more for me because I'm a firm believer that cheating is cheating, and I don't care how much you like a team and anything else. It's, what kind of message is that sending to the kids? Except for when it's the Astros. Then it's, well, everybody else is doing it. Well, you're not even good at it because you got caught then. So, and now the whole thing is the stretch stuff. Look at the scuff balls. We told you that they were using substance. We told you they were cheating. It's like not the same. It's not the same, but okay. It's okay. Astros really hot right now. And the question was asked of me, are they peaking too soon? What's your thoughts on that question?
No. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So what? We are 60 games in? 100 to go, roughly?
Right. Astros have played 72 games.
72. So, okay. 70, so 90. 90 games to go. No. They'll hit another lull, and then you'll pick it up end of July and August, maybe. Mid-August, maybe. But no, there's much more season left.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially given that, like you said, 72 in on 62 game season. But what I did say, though, there's a difference between hot and slumping. The Astros are hot right now, but you don't want them slumping heading into the playoffs because slump is that funk that you don't know when that thing's going to change. Hot, you can go from hot to consistent. You can win consistently, but you don't want to be slumping where you guys who normally come through ain't even close. And that's what I want the Astros to do at the wrong time.
No, I agree. You definitely want to go into that playoff season on the streak, consistently. You definitely want to go in, one for your last 16. That's not the way to end the season. That's not the way to go into the playoffs. So,
I don't care what anybody says. I love the Astros. I love Dusty Baker. Let me say that. But the division to watch is the NL West. The division to watch is the NL. The fact that San Francisco sits on top of San Diego and the Dodgers, man, that's the division to watch right there. That, to me, is the division you keep an eye on, as the eventual World Series champ will probably come out of that division.
Oh, without question. I mean, San Diego did what they had to do in the arms race to get pitching to compete with the Dodgers. And then, like you said, San Francisco rather comes out of seemingly nowhere.
Right.
You know, who had San Francisco contending, let alone leading the NL West at any point in this season? Not April 2nd, not May 10th, any point. So for them to be doing it mid-June, end of June, and you're right. That's going to be a race to watch throughout the season.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm looking forward to how that one plays out. Obviously, Oakland stumbled last night, losing to the Texas Rangers, who were riding in on a 6-game losing streak, and the Rangers went off on Oakland 8-3. That cost the A's the first place spot in the AL West. But again, the Astros are they're so on fire right now. You got to believe that they're going to come back down to earth a little bit. The question will be, who will be there when they do, the A's or somebody else?
But the A's, they lost 2 straight. They came off, I think, a 7 or 8 game winning streak themselves before they lost Sunday in New York. So, I mean, that's why you can't say, are they peaking too soon in June? No, I mean, it's plenty of baseball left to be played. I think the A's are for real. I think they're taking it personal that they really won't have anywhere to play after this year. You know, does Oakland want to pony up and get a stadium, or Las Vegas or Portland or what have you? So I think they're internalizing all of that and just letting them know, listen, we're here. Regardless if we have somewhere to play next year or not, we're here. So
I was in Vegas. I got a chance to see that stadium that the Raiders have built. I can imagine another stadium nearby that. It's hard for me to see just that one sports phenom right there. And if they got the money, I hate these city-supported stadiums. Like, I need y'all to support my vision too. Like, I want to build a better house, so I need a bond to go through, and we're gonna charge more on car rentals and hotels and all that, so my house can get bigger. But I can see another facility going up somewhere near that area for the A's or anybody that wants to move to Vegas. Vegas is going to be a professional sports town, and I think it's going to be a multi-professional sports town.
Oh yeah, without question. I mean, don't sleep on Adam Silver.
Yeah.
He's liable to put a. I think they got to put one in Seattle first for nostalgia's sake, but Vegas is on the table.
Yeah, and I got to figure he's going to do a twofer. Normally they'll do an East and the West, but I cannot see him putting another team in the NBA and not taking care of Seattle. I can't. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist covering the Ohio State University, host of the Will Knows podcast, and covering the Big Ten and Cleveland Browns. Let's talk about Adam Silver for a minute. What is he doing? What is he thinking? Why are we getting in 2 Western Conference finals before we get in 1 Eastern Conference final?
I think it was the rest factor. I mean, Phoenix had been off already a week. Had they waited until Wednesday, I mean, that would have been 10 days off. And I don't know that they wanted to let a team, and that would have been a competitive disadvantage, I believe. A team having 10 days off versus a team coming off had Utah Clippers gone 7 games, coming straight off a 1-day rest. So I think they tried to balance it as much as they could. I mean, Utah, the Clippers had 1 day, but Phoenix had already been off a week. And I don't know if they wanted to give them that much more. And if you look at the schedule, it lines up later on down the line. So if they catch up a game, I think next week, it's game 5 for the East, and the next day is game 6 for the West, if it goes that long, in fact. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And that's I put the question out there yesterday, but I knew you were coming on today, so I said, let me hold that for Willie, because if anybody knows, Will knows. What happened? I'm the anarchist in me right now too. If Phoenix wraps it up in 4, and Milwaukee and Atlanta go 7, you're right back where you started from.
I knew it was coming. I was waiting on it.
I mean, you just are.
You are.
That's the thing that Adam Silver and his team can see, but they're praying it don't happen. Like, just please don't let that happen.
Well, to remedy that, the finals already have a start date that escapes me right now. With the broken season, it escapes me. Not the broken season, but with the season that lacks normalcy. I'll say that. We have a draft lottery the day that typically the draft occurs in the NBA. So a lot has changed. So I think it's early July for the finals. They have to be wrapped up by the 23rd for the Olympics. So I think now they're scheduled to start early July. Hopefully that doesn't go 7 games, because then you deal with the players that want to go to I think Chris Paul expressed interest today.
Right, sure.
And wanting to Chris Middleton as well.
Sure did.
You know, that's just the American players, let alone a Giannis or a Ben Simmons, who probably won't go now. Yeah. And so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, Andrew Bogut had some interesting comments about Ben Simmons playing for the Australian national team, which I thought was like, come on, Andrew. Just
what did he
chill
say?
out.
I didn't see it. What did he say?
I'll see if I can find the clip. I'll see if I can find the clip. But Willie, we got to take a quick break. Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist, Columbus, Ohio, covering the Buckeyes, the Big Ten, and Cleveland. Will Knows podcast. If you want to get in, I'm telling you, this is the guy you want to ask those questions to. The number the number is 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. Or you can text 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Or you can definitely email aj@kyoksports.com. That's aj@kyoksports.com. CJ says, hello, AJ, Keith, and Mr. Gibson. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award.
I'm in trouble.
Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
Appreciate you, Lakeisha, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. All new 92.3 FM, streaming live, KYOKradio.org. Got some folks checking us out on Facebook. Got a shout out to Miss SD. She said, leave her Astros alone.
I apologize.
I got to listen to her because let me tell you something. She's got a friend who is such an avid, borderline rabid Astros fan that she would come up here, Doc. She about that life. She would come up here and chin check you and me. So, and you way up in Columbus.
Yeah, but say,
I'm going to be the one getting chin checked. I'm leaving it alone. Love that. Go Stros, go. Go Stros, go.
Hey, Altuve MVP, I guess.
But fortunately for us, I think she's out of the country. So I'm gonna just leave her alone. I'm not even gonna say her name because, bro, she can hear us, she can see us, and we'll be in trouble, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. So go Astros, go Astros, go Astros.
What you said.
Yeah. Also, we got another. Let's see. Okay, so this is not CJ who's on the internet with us. This is another CJ over in Louisiana. AJ, who do you think is going to be the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans? My team needs to come on like my Saints do. Willie, what are your thoughts? What do you think they're going to do over in New Orleans?
I saw Jacques Vaughn. They received permission to interview Jacques Vaughn, Brooklyn Nets assistant, which wouldn't be a bad move. Which would not be a bad move. That I don't know, David Griffin. We talked about this Friday night on three people talking sports with Chris Gardner and Yanez and David Griffin. I don't know.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
I've seen David Griffin. I know that. I've seen this before. And for you, David Griffin, to be in relationship, friendship, camaraderie with Alvin Gentry for over 20 years in Phoenix, you guys came up together and you get the head job in New Orleans and your first move is to take him out. I don't know. I mean, I understand Alvin Gentry's a veteran. You know, he's a coach for more of a veteran team, and that was a young team. But then you go and hire Stan Van Gundy, who's also a coach for a veteran team. You don't bring a coach in that's going to grow with your young talent.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Let me just say this. Didn't like the way he handled Alvin. And I definitely didn't like the hire of Van Gundy. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. And I try not to hold guys to their past. You know, maybe the situation in Orlando was just, the perfect storm. You know, the Dwight Howard's personality, Van Gundy's personality, front office, all of that, the perfect storm. I mean, he was unimpressive in Detroit. And he ran the whole show. So to bring him in, knowing that you've got valuable assets that you've got to nurture and grow and what have you, Van Gundy was the wrong person to do that. So, you know, we always say, well, this coach didn't do well here. Why bring him here? Well, Griffin is literally getting credit for stuff he didn't do in Cleveland because we're not seeing him do anything in New Orleans.
No, he's not. And you're right. He's getting credit for a lot of things that he didn't do in Cleveland. I mean, they won the championship, but we all
He didn't put that team together. He didn't recruit LeBron. He did not.
Mm-hmm.
He did not. LeBron called him, said, I'm coming. Y'all got room. Can y'all make it work?
Yep. And said, oh, by the way, get Kevin Love too.
Exactly.
Because truth be told, they wanted either LaMarcus Aldridge or Melo to pair with LeBron. And LeBron said, no, I want Kevin Love.
Yep.
They didn't want to trade Andrew Wiggins.
Yep.
But LeBron said, I want Kevin Love.
Yep. And here we are.
Yep.
And here we are. That's why I said, so you got Griffin getting credit for stuff he didn't do in Cleveland and getting the cachet down in New Orleans. And now we're seeing who and what David Griffin really is. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Zion's family is like, okay, you got one more shot to get this right. And if you don't get it right.
His fifth coach in 5 years. Imagine that. Think about that. Zion is playing for his fifth coach in 5 years. High school senior year, Coach K at Duke, Alvin Gentry, Van Gundy, and now who the fifth guy is.
Yeah.
5 years. Interesting.
Folks want to blame, Zion's family. I'm sorry. Just because I send my son to your program or your school doesn't mean he's going to stop being my son. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop giving him wise advice. Yeah, he's grown, but I'm still his dad, and I'm still going to give him wise advice. And when I hear journalists, broadcasters say, well, he's grown, he shouldn't listen to his family. No. Mm-mm. You still listen to your old tail mama. Why can't he listen to his mama?
Old
I'm
tail mama.
I'm
Wow.
sorry, Willie. I forgot. I
Wow.
scratched that from the record.
Oh, wow.
Woo! It's the lunch break. Talk your team Tuesday on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM. I was asked the question earlier. Got a chance to be on Talk Sports with my dear friend and colleague, Kim Y. Davis. And appreciate you having me on, Kim. And all y'all, please follow Kim Y. Davis on social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. Talk Sports had a great time today. But the question was asked, is Ben Simmons done and or gone in Philly? Yes or no? Why or why not?
He's done in Philly. Yes. Not because of the playoffs, though. The playoffs are just like the coup de grace, if you will, the cherry on top of the sundae. He's gone in Philly because it doesn't work between him and Embiid.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Embiid is clearly the number one. He's due for a contract extension this offseason. He's going to get it. Ben Simmons doesn't fit. To me, I trade Ben Simmons to OKC for Kemba Walker. They need a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
The money fits. You know, all this Dallas stuff for Porzingis and Portland for CJ McCollum. It sounds good, but they need a point guard. And you trade Kemba Walker. Ben Simmons puts no pressure on the defense offensively.
Right.
None. So Kemba Walker is going to drive, penetrate, shoot the shot, get Embiid involved. Embiid can't be shooting 70% of his shots from the three-point line or being the trail man, stopping at the three-point line, shooting the three. No, I need you down on the block.
Yeah.
But with Ben Simmons, he can do that. Kemba Walker is going to, I believe, bring some stability to that offense. And oh, by the way, it doesn't help or it doesn't hurt that he's going to play Boston a few times a year as well. So
yeah, I know he would love to have some of that. And from what I'm hearing from that locker room, you might have some guys that will let up on him so that he can let Mr. New Head Guy in charge know that they didn't like the way he went harder on Kemba that he did on some of the other players that needed that kind of coaching up and discipline and hardness as well. So that would be very interesting. The CJ McCollum rumor, I'm not, all excited about. The John Wall, Kristaps Porzingis, Ben Simmons, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It doesn't. Ben Simmons doesn't add anything here in Houston. If he were to go to Dallas, I mean, that doesn't make sense. Kristaps Porzingis in Houston is interesting, but is that Yao Ming 2.0? He's not healthy most of the time. I like him though. Please don't get it twisted. I like him a lot, but I don't know if it fixes the problem for Philly at the end of the day, because John Wall played a lot better down here, but John Wall didn't play a whole lot of basketball down here either.
Yeah, it doesn't fit at all. Can I say something about the Boston piece again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Brad Stevens. I think he made a power move. I apologize. I was thinking about that the entire time we were talking. Brad Stevens made a power move. Think about it. Danny Ainge wanted Kemba Walker. He didn't.
Yeah. Yep.
They gave Kemba Walker 160 when they could have signed Terry Rozier for maybe 70.
Right.
So they signed Kemba. I don't like Kemba. So the last 2 years, I'm going to give Kemba all the business that I don't give everybody else. Danny Ainge all of a sudden retires. A career Celtic, president of the basketball operations, all of a sudden just retires. Nah, I think Brad Stevens went upstairs to Whit Grousbeck and was like, look, it's either him or me. And he made the decision. And his first move as president of the basketball operations is to trade Kemba Walker. But no, me and Kemba got along great while he was here. No. I mean, please show me the dishonesty in my last statements.
You know me.
I know.
You know, I can't find the lie. You know, I
tried.
I can't find the lie. In fact, that's Bill O'Brien-ish right there. That's Bill O'Brien-ish. Oh, and he just happens to be from that area. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. But I notice how reserved I was as you started talking about Brad Stevens. Notice how I
did notice that.
Nostrils didn't flare, my ears didn't get on fire. I calmed myself. I wanted to hear you out, and I didn't pile on. You're right, Willie. You're right. I believe that's what that dog did. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I'm
phenomenal.
better. I'm better. Whew. Ashwagandha. It's good for your mood and your mentals and your chicken and all of that.
Yeah. Gotta take care of your chicken. Gotta take care of your chicken.
Your mental and your chicken.
Your mental and your chicken. Please believe it.
Well, Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist from covering the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Big Ten, and a whole lot more than that. Willie, I got to get Sybil Wilkes on here to give us her latest update and what you need to know today. But obviously, we got to get back to the NBA playoffs. Let's talk about Brooklyn and where they go from here. And then also let's talk about the Lakers and where they go, because I heard a comment today from Uncle Shannon that if the Lakers get Dame and a healthy – before they talk about Dame, let me say this. Shannon said that a healthy Anthony Davis and LeBron and the Lakers win the championship. Like, you can see the way it's set up right now that the Lakers would have won the chip if they had a healthy those two guys. I want to get your opinion on that. But we'll do that in just a minute right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Talk Your Team Tuesday. So if you want to get in and talk your team, that number is 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. Or you can text me at 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Or you can email me, aj@kyoksports.com. That's aj@kyoksports.com. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. As the U.S. Senate prepares to hold a procedural vote today on the For the People Voting Rights Bill, there's also the lifting of the veil regarding the use of the filibuster. Without getting past the filibuster, the president's hope of bills on voting rights, policing, and infrastructure are likely stalled, if not on life support. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia is the current face of a pro-filibuster segment of the Senate. According to research published Monday by JAMA Pediatrics, non-white children have a higher risk of negative COVID-19 outcomes. Although white children were more likely to receive a COVID-19 test, non-white children were more likely to test positive. Black children and other children of color were significantly more likely to be hospitalized and need the intensive care unit. Join Black Voters Matter this week on the blackest bus in America for a freedom ride for voting rights. Visit blackvotersmatter.com for a list of cities and dates. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, appreciate you, Lakeisha, again. Thank you for that drop. I want to shout out to my producer, Kev, the producer, getting some community drops for us in there with some of those other celebs. So, hey, Willie, before we hit the top of the hour, we've got somebody holding on. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this calling?
What's going on, Mr. Gibson, Brother Andre? This is Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, caller of the year 2017. Willie, this is the first caller on the show. So, Ferdinand, what it do, baby?
Man, just got a quick question for you guys. What makes everybody think that Brooklyn is the super team just because they got three guys that can really play basketball? I still don't consider that being a super team. You just got three guys. What about the surrounding cast? I mean, when you get the surrounding cast, to me, they're just a basic team.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess if I look at numbers, Ferdinand, you got either the number 1 or 2 player in the league. You probably got the top 5 point guard in the league. and then you've got a top 6 or 7 2 guard. So if you average that out, you're better than everybody else in those 3 positions by a lot.
So do you say the same thing if the Lakers are totally healthy? If you get a totally healthy Anthony Davis, totally healthy LeBron, and the supporting cast that they have, they don't equal up to or come close to out in the game 7 maybe?
No, because if you go person for person, LeBron would take care of Kevin. You got Anthony Davis that'll take care of, I don't know, let's go Harden, and you ain't got nothing else to cover Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, well, like I say, the Lakers still shouldn't have got rid of Dwight Howard. And going forward, maybe they can get maybe 2 other players that can kind of, come equal to Brooklyn. Then they right back in the thick of things.
Yeah. Do me a favor, stay right there, Ferdinand and Willie. We're going to hit the top of the hour. I'll be right back after this.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, back here on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. It is the lunch break, and it is Talk Your Team Tuesday. Got Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio, covering the Ohio State Buckeyes, covering the Big Ten and the Cleveland Browns. Also, Caller of the Year, Ferdinand, on the line, Caller of the Year from 2017. Ferdinand, go ahead with your point. You were talking about Dwight Howard, that mix up with LA. I will give you that, man. Pelinka blew that one, especially with what he brought in to sort of replace Howard. You were saying that maybe they can get 2 other players.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe if they can get 2 other. I mean, you have to get some real good players really to stay in contention. Don't get me wrong, Brooklyn has a nice setup, but you have to look at other teams that are building, AJ. Other teams are close to Brooklyn.
Yeah. And
since we're shooting AJ 3-pointers, and that's all the offense that every team wants to have, to me, all the teams are equal. There's no super team. Why? Because everybody's running for a 3-point shot, and therefore that creates and gives everybody equal opportunity to win a championship.
Willie, jump in on this because, Brooklyn to me is not what Golden State was. I think Golden State was the last with Durant. Now, I'm not talking about with Steph, Clay, and with Draymond, but with Durant, they were the last super team to me. Every other team kind of went, 2 quote unquote stars and then, good solid role players. Brooklyn, to me, went back to the 3-star approach. But I maybe they're not quite a super team, but they definitely broke the mold that we got between Golden State and now.
I agree. They went for the super team model, and you said you bring in 3. I mean, you go back KG, Pierce, and Ray Allen. You go back Bron, Wade, and Bosh. So they looked at that model. They tried to do it. I think what happened was, and I believe they mentioned it Saturday during Game 7, they gave up too much of their depth to get Harden. And it showed in Game 7. Joe Harris was struggling the entire time. Jeff Green didn't step up. Jeff Green had 27 in Game 5. He had 4 in Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up Karis LeVert. They gave up Jared. They called Cleveland. Cleveland wasn't involved in this trade. Sean Marks called Kobe Altman, the GM in Cleveland, and said, hey, they needed to free up a little bit more money to bring James in under the cap. So they called Cleveland and asked, would you be interested in Jared Allen? That's how Jared Allen ended up in Cleveland, not because Cleveland pursued him. They needed to dump salary. So you look at that, and then what they brought in to replenish clearly didn't match what they gave up. They couldn't bring it back a Karis LeVert. Now, in hindsight, it was a blessing in disguise for Karis LeVert because that physical that he took in Indiana discovered that he had a tumor on his kidney, and it allowed him to get that rectified. But that being said, they didn't have the depth, and that's where when Kyrie went down, when James went down, when Kevin went down, they didn't have the pieces to replenish.
Right. Ferdinand, you're perfect timing because I asked Willie before the previous break about the Lakers. Shannon Sharp said that if you had a healthy LeBron and a healthy a healthy Anthony Davis, that the Lakers would clearly win the championship. What are your thoughts about that? And then I want to hear what Willie has to say as well.
Me personally, I totally agree.
Really?
That's why I really didn't want either team to go down with injuries, because we had the teams right there where we want to see who could do what. But, injuries do plague teams. And I really want to see, Brooklyn and LA go at it healthy. It didn't happen. But that goes to tell you, can the Lakers do something different to make a better setup even coming back after next year? Because as long as you got LeBron on your team, AJ, you're more likely to win a championship than not. And we've seen that because he's proven that, in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Willie, what are your thoughts?
Let me understand. Let me make sure I understand the question right. So we're saying a healthy Lakers versus a healthy Nets roster, the Lakers will win the championship. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think Shannon was talking even about the Nets. I think Shannon was saying a healthy LeBron and AD against this field that we have in the conference finals. He believes that the Lakers would win the championship.
Yep, I can see that. Because you look at what the Clippers did with Utah, torching Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
He first of all, Quentin Snyder should. I think you said it yesterday. You got to get him out of there on that.
Yeah.
You got to get him out of there. They got 5 3-point shooters out there, and yes, he's a defensive player of the year, but he can't go. Rudy Gobert can guard the perimeter. No, he can't. We saw that Friday night. He can't. So does then you figure, okay, Portland or the Lakers would have played Denver, let's say, because that's who Phoenix swept. Healthy LeBron and AD beat Denver? Yeah. So now we're looking at Lakers Clippers, which everybody wanted to see the Western Conference Finals. Without Kawhi, do the Lakers beat the Clippers? Yeah. Even with Kawhi, I would venture to say, they would beat them. So now we're looking at whoever comes out of the East, Milwaukee. Giannis doesn't want to see LeBron. He doesn't. I'm telling you, and
Ferdinand, did you hear what he said? He said Giannis don't want to see LeBron.
And let me tell you why. Can I tell you why? That's not fan.
Talk about the game.
Yeah.
And I know the social media people can see this and terrestrial radio can't. But Giannis hasn't been the same. Go back to last year, Milwaukee, or actually.
Willie just dropped. He's gonna come back.
Well, I'll give you this statement before we come back.
All right.
I'm glad that Phoenix went on and they started that series because look, if you give them guys 2 weeks off, first thing they're gonna come as an excuse where you was giving Chris Paul time to recover from the COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't want any excuses. When Chris walk away with that ring, I don't want no excuses.
Right.
So he'll come back. He come back healthy, and they get on. Get back where they left off at. Man, hey, the Suns take a championship, and I'm gone, guys.
Appreciate you, Ferdinand. Be safe out there.
Yes, I appreciate it. I'm going.
All right, Ferdinand, caller of the year 2017, very first caller on the show. Willie, he was talking about Phoenix wrapping up that series as quickly as they did, and he's saying that there are going to be conspiracy theorists out there that are going to say that they were trying to give Chris Paul a chance to get back healthy and get right. I like what I saw out of Phoenix on Sunday. I like what I saw out of Devin Booker. And I understand Stephen A. Smith said that Devin Booker was the closest thing to Kobe. I'm not ready to take that step, but Devin has definitely referenced whatever conversation he and Kobe had where Kobe imparted wisdom that Devin has literally tattooed on his body, and he's playing based on that wisdom, and I like it. Now, I'm not going to say he's Kobe, but I can definitely tell that whatever Kobe said to him impacted his play and his life.
I agree. I'm not he's this or he's the next this or he's the first Devin Booker. Let's just let him be who he is, and that's fine. Phenomenal player. I mean, he was a phenomenal player before his first playoff experience. I mean, Draymond Green got what, $50,000 fine last year for saying we got to get Devin Booker out of Phoenix because they knew game recognizes game. They knew, the NBA knew this kid, especially, he scored 70 in the Garden against Boston, the TD Garden, but in Boston he scored 70.
Right.
So he's clearly had the talent. He's just now used the platform, or has the platform rather, to let everybody see. You know, is he Kobe, the next Kobe? I mean, I'm not going that far. I'm not willing to say that. I'm saying he's a great player. He's a great player, up and coming, and will continue to get better, hopefully.
Yeah, I really like guys to be the next them, as opposed to the next Kobe or the next LeBron or the next Michael. Remember Minor?
Harold Minor. Baby Jordan.
Baby Jordan. It's like, bro, it ain't fair to him. It ain't fair to Jordan. I mean, and he didn't give himself that name. So I just really want to let guys and ladies be who they are instead of the next this or that. I mean, Willie Gibson is not the next Bryant Gumbel. You know, Valencia King is not the next Robin Roberts. You guys are the next you, and you're the you right now. And I love that about y'all. I do. Speaking of Valencia, she said, and I quote, exactly, Devin Booker is the next Devin Booker. He is his own man. That's it. That's that's who they are. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays. I just like that he has no fear right now. He's playing like he's got nothing to lose.
And he doesn't. He really doesn't. I mean, it goes back to the bubble last year. Think about it. They went 8-0 in the bubble last year.
Yeah.
And he was letting people know then, look, I'm coming. I'm coming. And so I think Chris Paul had a lot to take it as far as taking his confidence to the next level, showing him things, teaching him, because I don't know that he's ever had that vet like a Chris Paul to show him the way. And so now with that, and along with that Mamba mentality, we could say he has the Mamba mentality, sure. But to say he's the next coming around, nah.
No. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll come back with Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio, joining us here on Talk Your Team Tuesday. If you want to talk your team, hit me up, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me, 832-403-5005. When we come back, I want to talk about Monty Williams for a minute on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of the Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Give the people what they want.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
What's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Nelson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ.
All right. Appreciate you, Jonathan Nelson, with your worshiping self. I forgot I even had that one. Appreciate you, Kev, the producer. All right, y'all. We're back here on the show. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday. Joining me all the way from Columbus, Ohio, it's Mr. Willy Gibson, Will Knows Podcast, coming soon. Plus, covers the Ohio State Buckeyes, covers the Big Ten, covers the Cleveland Browns, and he knows a whole lot. Got a shout out to Valencia King, host of Real Talk Sports and The Dialogue, and she's been getting it in lately. Valencia, I'm checking you out. You got my playlist expanding after what you posted on Twitter the other day. All right, so anyway, Willie, great to talk about Devin Booker. Love what he's doing. Always great to talk about Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, all them dudes balling. Monty Williams. put Monty Williams in perspective for me based on what you've seen this season.
Oh, a phenomenal coach that everyone, similar to Devin Booker, now the world per se is now beginning to see what truly a talented coach Monty Williams is. Along with, and I can add James Jones to that as well, Executive of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, Monty Williams was always a great coach. He didn't lose his job in New Orleans because he couldn't coach.
Right.
I mean, they thought he could, for whatever reason. I mean, I'm sure David Grubb could speak to this much more knowledgeable than I will. But I mean, he was getting that team together. I mean, Anthony Davis rears him to this day. I mean, you saw that when the Lakers got eliminated. The first thing Anthony Davis did was go grab Monty Williams.
Yeah.
So he's always had the respect of the league. I mean, and that was seen, unfortunately, as well when his wife was killed. The respect and the camaraderie and the brotherhood that the league showered on him was evident. You know, they don't do that to someone who's not well respected and well liked. So I think for him, it's just an opportunity. And don't forget, for Frank Vogel last year, the runner-up for that Lakers job was Monty Williams. He chose to take the Phoenix job because he didn't want to wait on the Lakers. He was interviewed. He took the Phoenix job because he didn't want to wait on the Lakers. So, again, league circles know the character and the talent that Monty Williams has. I think now the world is just starting to see it.
Yeah. I am forever happy for Monty Williams. Personally, you know, I was a big Notre Dame fan, and Monty comes from that tree, and he's just been a good dude all the way around. Heart broke for him, you know, with his wife, and to see him, you know, get this opportunity and the way he's handling it. Again, he's coaching like he has no fear. I said on the Chalk Talk Sports today, I was asked point blank who I thought was the better team out of these four and who I thought would come out as the champ. I said, right now, I got to say Phoenix is the better team and the more consistent team out of the four, because you have a head coach that when he sees a problem, he addresses it. He gets the problem off the court and coaches it up, but gets the solution on the court and lets that, you know, kind of run its course. He doesn't get tight with the rotation where I'm only going to play 7, 8 guys. He's going to get the guys out there that can keep this thing going. I like that about him. And then the guys are playing like they have no fear. Similar to Atlanta, and that's why I feel like Atlanta's going to come out of the East, because Milwaukee is almost playing scared. Milwaukee's almost playing not to lose as opposed to you know, how to win. They literally got through that Brooklyn series by grace because, man, they did not attack James Harden. It wasn't until Game 7 that they put emphasis on Harris and the other guys versus, you know, trying to stop Durant. We're not going to stop Durant, so let's take Harris away. You know, it took them 7 games to figure that out. So I don't know. And then I hate to say it, but the Clippers are the Clippers.
Clippers going to clip.
Clippers going to clip. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? Again, am I being too simplistic about Monty and Phoenix?
No, I would never say that. Right on. I mean, spot on with everything you said about Phoenix and how he's running his team. What I will say as far as Atlanta and Milwaukee, I think Giannis is going to have a field day against Atlanta because they don't have – I mean, I know your guy Clint Capella is down in the middle in Atlanta now. They don't have the interior defense to handle.
I'm sorry still, man. I'm sorry for what I said about you when you was up here. I apologize. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Willie.
Listen, man. You got Giannis. You got Brook Lopez. You got Chris Middleton coming up. I mean, they played scared against Brooklyn. They did. Absolutely. They're not going to play scared against Atlanta. They're going to look at Atlanta like, come on, Trey. No. And it's crazy. To me, what's funny, I think Phoenix is going to win the chip, too. I said that after they beat the Lakers. But let's just, for conversation's sake, say Milwaukee beats Atlanta and they beat Phoenix and they win the championship. Have you ever seen somebody in 1 second go from losing their job to winning a championship as quickly as Bud has, or would in that scenario? Because he was gone if Brooklyn won that series.
Bruh. What's that movie, Soul? Where all the souls were in the one place, and the soul jumped in another body. That's what I feel like happened with Bud. Like his soul was going to the place where souls go, and he done got out and snuck in another body because, bruh, he was out of here. He was gone. Finished because we got to get you out of here.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I've never seen it because he clearly was out, and so now they're gonna run through Atlanta. Love Nate McMillan. I mean, can we get the interim tag off Nate McMillan though, for real? Can we get that interim tag off Nate McMillan? What does that man have to do?
Oh,
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So,
If I'm Boston, if I'm Portland, if I'm even
how
Orlando.
about Indiana? How about Indiana?
Indiana can't play in this.
Write that wrong.
Don't say a word. Indiana, don't say a word. But if I'm either one of them teams, I'll go ahead and take the fine. We want Nate McMillan. We want Nate. I'll go ahead and take the hit, Doc. What's the fine? Pay it. Tell that man we want him right now because they haven't said they want him in Atlanta. They ain't paid that man yet. And they don't have to wait.
No.
There is no rule in the league that says they can't grab the mic, go Kanye West. Listen, I'm finna let you finish. But Nate McMillan, how many years you want? You can have them. Man, come on, man. They can't do it. They can't do it.
They should.
I would take that hit, bro.
Oh, without question. You got to. Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah, but the Pacers cannot say a word. You got what you got. Look, you broke up. I got to get back in. Yeah, you broke up with me publicly. You can't apologize to me privately. I'm sorry.
Jump me back. Come on, jump me back in. Jump me back in. I got to get in.
Willy Gibson, Will Knows Podcast, broadcast journalist for Columbus. Karen Gibson has jumped on and said, "Hey, Willy Gibson." She's smiling and waving and stuff. Y'all say something.
Hello.
I'm finna put hearts on her stuff for you, man. I can't even do it. It keeps jumping to your page when I try to heart her comments. Let me put them up on the screen for you so everybody can see how much she loves you. There it is. You like it, don't you? Will, you're not frozen, are you? Will done got frozen looking at his family members' comments. That's a shame. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll get Willie unfrozen after all the love he's receiving on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm telling y'all, man, but I miss Willie. All right, we'll be right back right after this.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK, 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
I'm not my fault, man. I think it's me over here.
In need of tires?
My bad.
Okay. Tire services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, 259 North in Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of Not So Christian and Me Show.
We're going to shift gears if we can.
Great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jonathan McReynolds, and I'm glad that you made room for the legendary KYOK, The Lunch Break.
Thank you, Jonathan McReynolds, with your Stellar Award winning self. He took almost every Stellar home a couple of years ago. BET Music Awards coming up this weekend. I'm trying to be in the building, Doc. I'm trying to be on the red carpet. I'm gonna wear my shield. I'm gonna wear my shield. I'm gonna put that on and be on that red carpet. Like, no, I'm not talking sports. I'm trying to talk to you. What are you talking about? Hey, talk to me about this. Yeah, I'm gonna be out there, bro. I'm gonna be out there. Have you ever done a red carpet event?
I have.
Willie.
As media or participant?
Yeah, as media.
No.
Willie.
I participated
the red
in
carpet
a couple of them. No.
Is totally different than what we do in the locker rooms and talking to athletes, bro. It's ruthless, man. The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Return of the Walking Dead, bro. They will beat you up. Leave your spot on that red carpet thinking you're going to go make a phone call, go to the bathroom, come back. Bro, your whole thing will be gone. You'll be like, help, wait.
Nah, I've walked it a couple times with the ESPYs out of ESPN, but no, I've never participated as media, no.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you for real, man. I literally, I'll go, but I don't want to do the red carpet. Like, I don't want to fool with that red carpet. So anyway, man, shout out to all you red carpet media folks. Y'all are on a whole nother level. Props, nothing but props. Willie,
yes.
We got a couple of players that are going to have said that they want to play for Team USA. James Harden, Kevin Durant, like you said, Chris Middleton, CP3 saying that they want to play. LeBron James, Steph Curry have opted out. Any issues with that?
No, none. I mean, LeBron, he had the shortest offseason in NBA history after winning the championship.
Yeah.
And then was injured throughout the year, knocked out in the first round. He has a full offseason now. No, get your body right. Steph. See, I see what I did there? Seth.
I saw what you did there. I saw it.
Yeah. But Steph, no, same. Get your body right. Get your body right. And get ready for next year. No, I don't have a problem with them at all. Yeah, I'm with you. As well. Team USA, whatever it's made up of, is going to win the chip. So I'm in the medal. Did you see who did announce he was playing, or Team USA announced this particular person was playing?
Who?
Kevin Love.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He has to build that trade value back up. He's trying to get out of Cleveland, and they won't pay him $60 million to go away. And he didn't play last year, so he's trying to get his trade value up by playing for Team USA.
I don't like the politics of Olympic sports, which gets me to where I am next. Next. Did you see the announcement of the women's team?
I did.
Did you see who was left off of it?
I did.
Locally, she was a star player at Cy-Fair High School. Went off to Stanford, won chips there all over in Stanford, and has been an NBA legend. And I'm talking about Nneka Ogwumike. And, we know Nneka, we know Chinny, we know baby sister, we know the family. There's no I can't even doctor it up. There's no reason why she shouldn't be on the team. And by the way, I love Dawn Staley. But the grace and the bubble that they're trying to put Dawn in and distance her from Nneka not being on there, I don't know if I could give it to her. I really don't. Because if I didn't hear that Dawn didn't go to bat for Nneka, didn't go horse for, literally almost lost her chance to hold the job because of Nneka, then I'm not hearing what I need to hear.
There's a committee, and I know Katie Smith here, former Buckeye. Katie Smith is on that U.S. committee as well, selection committee as well. I want to know the justification as well, because I don't believe there is one. but I still like to hear what would be said. And for her not to be on that team is ridiculous. I mean, and I hate to single out people because that's always the question. Though if she doesn't make it, who would? If she makes it, who would you take off? Sue Bird. Sue Bird.
I don't even know. Hold on. Let me. I got to get to my notes. You know, I got notes. Hold on. Oh, why is my thing doing that? Willie, there's a couple of people. Sue Bird, yeah, but there's a couple of young players that they're young, but why four? We talking about Neke Agwemeke. We ain't talking about Neke Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, we know who we're talking about here.
Right.
If you're telling me she's not healthy, I'll hear you, but you save a spot for her. You make an exception because she's going to be ready before July. So, okay. All right, Willie. I'm listening.
Okay. I mean, listen, I get it. I'm with you 4,080%. Trust. Neke Agwemeke should be on that Olympic team. Flat out. Yeah,
I'm looking. Nafisa
Collar. Yeah, Nafisa Collar. She's a big.
Okay. Chelsea Gray.
Okay.
Jewel Lloyd.
Yeah, Jewel Lloyd is that to borrow. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Borrow what?
No, to borrow from Sha'Carri Richardson and track. Jewel Lloyd is that girl, no doubt.
Yeah, I love
Sha'Carri.
I'm just saying. There's about three names on there. That
I gave you my name, Sue Bird.
Yeah, I got you.
Her.
Yeah. And again, I love Dawn. Should be an NBA head coach. I love Dawn, but I can't let Dawn just skate out away from this and not give Dawn some of that credit. And I'm trying to find the young lady that just went off yesterday about it on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Who was it? Yeah, I know that. I saw it. I'm trying to think who it was myself.
She didn't just choose violence. She chose mass destruction. She's
Clearly.
like, I'm blowing them all up.
Clearly.
And I'm not going to save nobody. Like, she got wherever Gino Auriemma thought he could hide, she got him. Wherever, Katie Smith thought she was going to be, she got her. She got Dawn. She got Sue. She got Diana. She got everybody. She killed UConn, the whole state. She just killed the whole state. She killed the college team and the pro team. She killed the whole state. They go. You want to see some dead bodies? Not a dead body. She got them all, bro. She got them all.
She did.
Yes, come on.
Devereaux Peters.
Brother. I don't know who she works for, but baby, she tested the limits of all of their employee handbook. Like everything, you would have found something on a page that she was testing because she got everybody. And I couldn't do nothing but say, it's the truth, though. Eat my popcorn.
Without question. Yeah. No argument for me, yeah.
All right, so women's basketball, and then somebody kept trying to say, well, who's going to beat them, though? That's not the point. They can clearly win the gold medal. That's not the point. The politics on the men and women's side, and let's just go ahead and go in any of the sports. At some point, man, we got to get beyond all of that. That being said, we got to give some love to Stephen F. Austin High star and former gold medalist Simone Manuel heading back to the Olympics in swimming in the 50 backstroke, and she got that by winning her finals. And we're happy about her. Her parents and several of my colleagues went to school together at Xavier, so she's near and dear to my heart, very near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You mentioned Sha'Carri. Man, talk about her a little bit, because I saw some tweets about her and some posts about her that I did not like. Like, get off of her hair, get off of her nails, and I don't care what you think about how she talks on her interviews. And I wish somebody would call my daughter, niece, ghetto. I mean, why? Why for?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, the biggest moment of her life thus far, making the Olympic team. Of course, odds-on favorite to go to Tokyo and come back with the gold.
With the gold. Yeah.
With the gold. It's just people, man. I mean, ignorance, man. Ignorance. It doesn't matter. I mean, she clearly blew the doors off her competition, and her post-race comments. I mean, did you see? I don't know if people really caught this. They kind of blew over it. Her mother just passed last week. Her biological mother.
Biological mother just died.
And we're talking about her hair.
And her nails and her tattoos and the way she gets in the starters blocks and all of that.
From South Dallas, right? Down at South Dallas, right? Yeah, I mean, stop it.
Yeah. I want to shout out to a couple of the track and field qualifiers. Sha'Carri Richardson, of course, won the women's 100 meter. Giovanni Oliver was second. Tahana Daniels third. And then you got several that qualified for the relay. 400 meters, Quinera Haynes won that. Allison Felix. Yeah. Come on, Mom. Here, no back. I'm really happy for her. She's back. Wadeline Jonathas is going, and then the next four qualified for the relay. Then let's go over to the women's hurdle. Kenny Harrison, 12.47, and Christine Clemens. Man,
Buckeye.
Yeah.
Buckeye.
Yeah. I had to give her love too. And what was it? Harrison, who was talking about how she blew out her Achilles and got hurt and did all these things.
That was Clemens.
Oh, that's Clemens. Okay, yeah, I got them mixed up.
Yeah, that's the Buckeye.
Yeah. Bruh, I ain't gonna say I was crying, but somebody was cutting onions in my house when I was hearing her talk. And then Vashti Cunningham heading back with the high jump. On the 100, on the men's side. All right, what do you know about this Trayvon Bromell, that 9.8 that he run, and then Ronnie Baker and Fred Curley? Bro, they were all moving. 9.8 flat, 9.85, 9.86. Yeah.
Yeah, Trayvon is that dude. He's the one. He's the one.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny, I was watching that, and actually it's going to be a topic on Will Knowles here shortly. The cachet of the men's 100. And I'll give a little bit of it here. You know, we're used to the pageantry of a Carl Lewis,
right?
The showmanship of a Maurice Green. I remember Maurice Green in the semifinals, won the 100, had his boy on the side in the infield with the fire extinguisher, came across the line, took his shoes off, and his boy hosed him down. Like, yeah, where is that? We don't have that. I mean, Trayvon Bromell is sweet. Don't get me wrong, he's that, but we don't have that. We don't have that pageantry. That's what the men's 100, world's fastest man. That's what it's about. I don't know if we missed it because of controversy with drug use. I don't know if we missed it because of the sheer dominance of Usain Bolt, and everybody kind of lost interest. Like, whatever. But that is what the sport is missing, and hopefully, this crew will bring it back. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Just a little teaser, man. I've got somebody very dear to me working on an interview with Joe DeLoach, and bruh, that's gonna be one of those stargazing moments. Having ran track and knowing all that brother accomplished in the sport, man. And from what I hear, he's a really humble guy, and he's just real real cool. But man, I cannot wait for that one to come to pass when it does happen. So, but yeah, I was thinking about that because again, with no Usain Bolt, the Americans really do have a chance to medal well. And then in your 400 meters, you got I'm looking at that name down there, Randolph Ross. That's HBCU stuff right there. Michael Cherry.
Turned down Ohio State.
I know.
To go to A&T.
I know.
I just wanted to, Turned down Ohio State to go to A&T.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you remember those that turned down the Ohio State to go elsewhere, especially to an HBCU?
It's rare. It's rare. That may be one of one. Yeah. Yep.
And Michael Cherry came in second. Michael Norman won at 44.07. Cherry 44.35. Randolph didn't run his best, but 4.474, and he was right there. So that's going to be interesting. And then let's see, there was something else I wanted to. Yeah, no, that's it on that. So I was a little disappointed not to see Sturgis pull through. She was another A&T in the 100. But man, them women running 100 are getting it in, bro. They picking them up and putting them down.
Oh, without question. I mean, this is I don't like it that we only focus on track and field in Olympic years. I think the non-Olympic years we see. Was it Kenny Harrison? They talked about it. She missed the team in 2016, and 12 days later broke the world record.
Yeah,
but we don't know that until it's the next time for the Olympic trials.
Yeah,
we don't focus on track in non-Olympic years, and that's something I think that should change.
It really should, because track stars overseas are millionaires. Like they get paid $1 million just to come to the event, let alone before they even compete. If they break a world's record, that's another $1 or more. If they set a personal best, that's more money. They literally get paid over there like they should get paid over here, but they don't. So you're right. We don't focus on it. We'll take my last break, brother, and we're going to come back and wrap this up right here. Willy Gibson joining us on Talk Your Team Tuesday. It is the legendary KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
This is Jamie from Baytown, listening to AJ on the lunch break.
Big shout out to Jamie. I'm trying to think where Jamie graduated from. But anyway, big shout out to Jamie. Appreciate her. And Willie, we got to get ready to go. Before we do, though, man, I've got a couple of comments on here that we got via text message. AJ, do you think Doc Rivers can make any difference for the young man in Philadelphia? I appreciate that person sending me that message, because I said to Kim Y. Davis on Chalk Talk, you got what the media thinks, you got what the fan thinks, and that's that Ben Simmons is done. But you got Doc, who is a player's coach. Doc, who's Doc is kind of like a fatherly coach. And Doc is willing to do whatever he can to help Ben Simmons. And from what I heard from Ben Simmons' interview, he wants to help. If they can make Ben Simmons, lethal again, deadly again, he's still an NBA talent. He still was a guy good enough to get in the NBA. He hadn't lost that. It's mental. If Doc can do that and they can add something else to the roster, what do you think about what can happen for Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers?
I think they're still trading. Again,
Okay.
I hope all the best for Ben Simmons. I do. I just don't think it works with him and Embiid. Let alone his issues, his confidence, his shot, his game, all that notwithstanding. I think Joel Embiid is that dude in Philly.
Yeah.
And there's not gonna be room for Ben Simmons. I just don't. I think they can use the trading of Ben Simmons to bring in pieces to surround Joel Embiid that will take them to the next level.
I got you.
You know, like I said, I hope the best for Ben Simmons. And now, is that going to happen? Am I reporting? Am I saying that's going to happen? I don't know. But for me, I've seen it for, Ben Simmons has been in the league 4 years. And this isn't the first time we've seen it. I just don't think there's a fit. I mean, Ben Simmons was a power forward. They turned him into a point guard, trying to make this work between him and Embiid. I just don't think it works.
Got you. The other question was about the Rockets and the draft lottery tonight. Rockets, Detroit, I think, have the best chance or the most number of balls in the lottery. What do you think? What do you think happens?
It's the lottery, man. I mean, listen, Cleveland may win it. I don't know. Actually, I'm en route actually after this. Headed to Cleveland for that. It's the lottery. I mean,
what was the year that the Cleveland owner had his son? Son had the bow tie and all that. He was there representing for the lottery, and they got the number one pick. Yeah, I remember that well.
That was the Kyrie draft.
Okay, all right.
The Kyrie draft.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, to me, Cade Cunningham is the answer for the Houston Rockets to go with all that they picked up after the trade deadline and all that. Who do you want Cleveland to get if they win the lottery?
Cade Cunningham. He's the answer for everybody. He's the answer for everybody.
No, brother, y'all got to get your own.
Now, if it stays status quo and they pick 5, it'll probably be Scotty Barnes, forward from Florida State. Put him with a Coro from last year, and keep Garland. I think they have to move. Sexton. It's unpopular. Yeah, they do, and not because he's bad.
I know he can ball.
Yeah, he can score. He's a scorer, but he's almost up, and they're not going to max him out. And if you're not going to max him out, what are you keeping him for? And you have Darius Garland, whose game flourished when Sexton was out.
Okay, so then you send Sexton to Philly, and y'all get Ben Simmons.
Man, stop it. I've heard that like 10 million times since Sunday night. Stop it. It's 146 million reasons they're not going to do that.
I'm just trying to help y'all.
146 million reasons they're not going to do that.
I'm just trying to help make Cleveland great again.
all I'll say is this: Ben Simmons is a Clutch Sports Group player. The head of Clutch Sports Group is Rich Paul.
Yeah,
you
better not.
Connect the dots from there.
You better not. You better leave the Lakers. Stay out of LA. Stay out of LA. The Clippers are hiring.
Okay.
Yeah. Real quick,
Can I say
man.
About Kyrie? We mentioned Kyrie real quick. Can I say something?
Right.
I saw this yesterday, and I found it to be interesting. Since Kyrie forced his way out of Cleveland, the number of playoff series won: LeBron 7, Celtics 5, Cavaliers 3, Kyrie 2.
I'm not entertaining that. I'm not even looking up. I'm looking down. I'm not even looking up. I'm not even
just
looking
information.
Up.
Just information. That's all.
Why? Why must you do that? Why must you do that?
Just information.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about Doc Rivers. I thought better of it because I left Doc alone. But somebody had to take it today. Kyrie was the man.
Okay. And you know what? He about that life. Anybody that thinks that the world is flat and is grown has been able to handle that for a long time. So he can take it. He can take it.
Yeah.
I had a couple of quarterback questions come in when they knew you were going to be on the show. Somebody was asking about the quarterback room up in Cleveland. I didn't have it in front of me. And while they were asking about the quarterback room, they were kind of trying to get to the who's got the best quarterback room in the NFL. How you feel about the quarterback room in Cleveland?
Yeah, it's Baker Mayfield 1 and Case Keenum 2. Case Keenum's a solid backup. He's making $6 million a year to back up Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he's solid. He was with Kevin Stefanski in Minnesota. I think he was in Houston at one point. Played at the University of Houston. I know.
Record
so,
University of Houston.
Yeah, he's solid. He's the consummate backup quarterback. Hope you don't need him, but experienced enough that if you do, you hopefully won't miss a beat.
There's a quarterback room that to me is sneakingly better than most people think, and it'll play itself out once the season gets started. And that's the Miami Dolphin quarterback room with Tua Tagovailoa and Jacoby Brissett. That ain't a bad quarterback room, and both unproven. Folks want to label Brissett as a bust, but Doc, if you ain't talking about Sam Darnold and you ain't talking about Carson Wentz and Mitchell Trubisky, then I don't want to hear about how big of a bust Jacoby Brissett is. But there's a quarterback room that I'm real scared of, and that's the New York Jets. Their quarterback room is probably one of the scariest in the business because I don't think anybody in that room has an NFL start.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, where's he going? Because Zach Wilson? Okay.
I mean, again, nobody in that building has NFL. Let me pull it up real quick. I mean, I'm typically wrong, but Zach Wilson's going to be a starter. He doesn't have one, and he's coming from BYU. You got James Morgan, and you got Mike White.
Wow.
White.
Yeah, you get no argument from me.
Your quarterback is more than likely going to be. I'm looking at the wide receivers. There's somebody. DJ Montgomery, Elijah Moore, Vincent Smith. One of them dudes is going to be your quarterback before long if that's what you got in that room. And everybody's telling me that Robert Saleh is going to be able to turn that into something, and that's a heck of a magic act.
Well, I think he has Mike LaFleur as his OC, who's Matt LaFleur's brother, head coach of Green Bay. Not saying he was in San Francisco. They think that he can work it, but you gotta have experience, and you don't have no experience. I find it hard to believe that they won't bring someone in. They have to. There's no way. There's no way.
I know in Zach we trust, but bruh, I'm a defensive coordinator. I'm real quiet, and I'm waiting on my meat. I'm waiting it to come off the grill. I'm waiting for it to come off the oven, I'm waiting on it to come out the skillet. And I'm throwing so much stuff at him that he can't even spell, let alone have seen before. And you got nowhere to go.
It's not an accident. It's not an accident. Week 1 is the Jets at Carolina and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's a scary quarterback room there in Carolina as well. That's a scary one there too, because if Darnold doesn't work out, what do you got behind him? In one of the toughest divisions. They
traded Teddy B to Denver, so I'm trying to think who is back there.
Tell you what that quarterback room looks like there: Sam Darnold, Will Grier, and Houston Roughnecks own PJ Walker.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. You got to have somebody, a veteran, especially as fragile as Darnold is coming out of New York. Yes, it's a fresh start. Yes, you hope for the best. Yes, he's talented. But you got to have somebody. Yeah. Not so much for him looking over his shoulder, but somebody that he can talk to.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, in each of those quarterback rooms, who's the veteran that they can lean on? I mean, who is helping Zach Wilson figure just how to maneuver as a quarterback in the NFL. Who's that guy?
Exactly, because it's one thing to coach him up, but you got to ask somebody after the coach. Okay, no, what did he just say? Tell me. You got to have a player. I mean, I remember a clip. Joe Dumars, Grant Hill's rookie year. Grant was committed a foul, and immediately Joe Dumars ran to the ref. Tell me what he did. Tell me what he did. Tell me what he did. So then Joe can go back and tell Grant, look, you can't do that. Who's going to do that in New York for Zach Wilson? Who's going to do that for Sam Darnold? No. Yeah, that's tough to believe.
Yeah, I got Carolina last in their division. I got the Jets last in their division. And the more I think about it, and this is probably going to be controversial with a minute left, Washington could very well be last in the NFC East. And let me tell you why. If you look at the quarterbacks in that division, the only real question mark not named Ryan Fitzpatrick is Jalen Hurts. And if Jalen Hurts do what we know down here that Jalen can do, well, that leaves Ryan Fitzpatrick or Taylor Heineke.
You that confident in Daniel Jones, huh?
Well, let me just tell you this. Daniel Jones has a better chance of having an experience like Josh Allen than Ryan Fitzpatrick does. Because he's comfortable with his coach. They had some success. I mean, they were a player or two away from ending up in that playoff spot. If Peterson doesn't torpedo his own job, then we're watching Daniel Jones and the Giants in the playoffs and not Washington, because folks gave Washington love like they had 18 wins, like they were just 18-0 in a 17-game series, season. So. Yeah, man. I feel like there's a couple of teams that the hype is literally covering up the facts. And the facts is that Washington had a great defense and they had a great run on a 7-9 team. So how great was that defense? Are you telling me that's all quarterback? If that's all quarterback, now you're trying to convince me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is that quarterback. Nah, I ain't buying all that. That's way too many footprints for Bigfoot. I need to see some hair. I need to see some Bigfoot boo-boo. I need to see some trees he done ate. I need to see something more than what you're telling me. Sorry, Willie. We're not gonna win that Marconi Award, are we?
So if I'm just gonna do this since we already there. If he ate the tree, how we gonna see it? I'm just saying.
He just bit into it. Well, he scratched it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I got to see some real solid forensic evidence. Willie, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, man.
Fair enough. I appreciate the opportunity as always. Will Gibson 7 on Twitter, Instagram. Will Knows on Facebook, the Will Knows Podcast Facebook page as well. Oh, and Friday night, 3 guys talking sports, 3 people talking sports. Me, Andy Yanez, and the greats, the GOAT, Chris Gardner. JG, Chris Gardner.
With his singing self.
Listen.
Brother, I heard it, and I was like, and then he came to you for the high part. Willie's like, no.
Listen, no, sir, not me. No, sir.
Willie, you stay blessed, man. Tell the family I said hello. Give my niece anything and everything that she wants, man. And we'll have to have you back on again soon. And you definitely keep us posted on the debut premiere of the Will Knows podcast, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it as always. You as well. Thank you.
All right, brother. Love you for free, man. Have a good one.
You as well.
All right, y'all. We gone. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on with what you need to know today. Donna McClurkin up next. After that, as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Here's Sybil Wilkes right here as we go.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. As the U.S. Senate prepares to hold a procedural vote
Bless you,
today
man.
on the For the
Appreciate
People voting. There's
All right,
also the lifting of the veil regarding the use of the filibuster. Without getting past the filibuster, the president's hope of bills on voting rights policing, and infrastructure are likely stalled, if not on life support. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia is the current face of a pro-filibuster segment of the Senate. According to research published Monday by JAMA Pediatrics, non-white children have a higher risk of negative COVID-19 outcomes. Although white children were more likely to receive a COVID-19 test, non-white children were more likely to test positive. Black children and other children of color were significantly more likely to be hospitalized and need the intensive care unit. Join Black Voters Matter this week on the blackest bus in America for a freedom ride for voting rights. Visit blackvotersmatter.com for a list of cities and dates. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I want to appreciate Will Gibson for coming on. Had a great time with him. Y'all be sure and follow him on social media as well. And, of course, thank y'all for supporting the show, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. As always, not this, it's definitely this. I love y'all. Have a great rest of your day.